her phone. Just bear with me for a second. Just got to get the live up on my laptop, and yes, and then we can get going. So I don't need that. Let's see, I don't need that. I do need this. Let's see. Don't need that. Open. Okay, do that. Do YouTube live. Let's open this sucker up. There I am. Oops. We need to mute me because we don't need to hear me. I see that YouTube is still putting the @ and everybody's like um profile name on here rather than just like, just your name or your channel name. Yeah, so the PDF, I'm going to work on that probably tonight, and I'll have it posted before the weekend is out for the projects that I'm doing tonight. But I needed to at least get the description stuff done. And if you're familiar, with doing videos or anything like that, if you add stuff in the description box, you're only limited to 5,000 characters. And I had well over that. And so I had to find ways to kind of, shorten the names of things and stuff so I can get it all on there. So that kind of took a little bit. And then I had to kind of make myself a little bit more presentable. But when I saw that it was already like 4:52, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to tell these guys that I'm going to be pushing it off anymore. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I certainly did not forget about tonight. And Terry made sure to like reach out to me and ask if I was going to go live. But yeah, I apologize that I probably confused everybody. I know that I kind of confused Froggy because she sent me an email, and like I told you guys last Friday of last week, that I was looking to actually go on earlier on Friday, like 5 o'clock, and then the whole day. I mean, I put all my fall stuff away in the morning, and I put up like the Christmas lights outside, and you know time just got away from me, and I had like one project done, and I'm like, okay, I got 2 hours left, and there's no way I'm going to get the other projects done. So then it's like, okay, pushed it to like 7, and then when I realized that wasn't going to happen, then yeah, I kept on updating that message, and then it's like I think I confused people. What else do I need on here? I do need to put the link for you guys for the card drawing. So as promised, like I said in the post, I did do a bonus project. So there's going to be 4 cards um for tonight rather than the normal 3. And let's see, let's put this here. And let's post that. And then let's pin this up at the top. Sharon, well, I see your post where you say, hi, everyone. I cannot post. Hope this comes through. It came through. Okay. Um, Tracy, wait a minute. Did you just move to Florida? Because you were in Springfield, right? Or are you or is it like a winter residence in Florida? I know Ohio's getting snow today. A lot of those states up north are getting it. Okay. Let's see. Do I got everything that I need? Oh, okay. All right. I was like, wait a minute. I thought you were in Ohio. Okay. Um, Let me see. Do I have anything else now that I have to add? I don't think I do. I got the link pinned up to the top of the chat box for the card drawing at the end. Um, yeah, Froggy. Yeah, like I said, I apologize. I think I confused people with my post because I said, what day, time, and all that. Froggy, um, she did email me and she said that she would be on, but she may be a little late. So she'll be here at some point based on what she said to me yesterday or last night. Um, Actually, I did get Froggy's card. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I did get her card yesterday. And actually, according to my informed delivery, I think today, the card I got a card from Deborah, but I didn't go out anywhere today. Today it was just basically a cold and rainy day, so whatever I needed to do, I did that yesterday. So with that, let's see. I think I have everything. Again, if anyone's having any issues whatsoever adding their name to the spreadsheet, um, I know Terry don't. Terry's name's on there. Just say something in the chat and we'll get your name added. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, Deborah's came in the mail now, unless the post office is gonna hold it ransom. Um, yeah, according to my informed delivery, it is there. Okay, so what is happening? Well, I don't know what is happening. What's been going on? Um, yeah, so my usual plan the day after Christmas, doing all my decorating. Um, all I accomplished was in early in the morning, I got up, I took my patio lights, my white patio lights down, and I replaced them with the Christmas lights. In the process of doing that, I found two vacated wasp nests um, on the roof part of my patio. So yeah, they don't exist anymore. They're gone. Um, oh, Karen, you mean Froggy? Yeah, Karen. No, Froggy's name is Karen. Yeah, yeah. I got a call from Andrea. Her birthday was on the 17th, and she said, "I got this card from Canada, and it was from a Karen Gilmore." It's like, who is that? And I'm like, look on the list. I said, that's Froggy. that's that's her real name. And she's like, oh, okay, okay. We do have what do you call it? We do have another person that is on the list. I hadn't seen her here in a little bit. Cynthia Swinton, her birthday is early December. Do I want to say about the 7th. I'm not 100% sure. I just know it's early in December. Um, yeah, it's been a bit since she's been here. Every once in a while she does comment on videos at, like my pre-recorded stuff. She has commented on them on the 4th. Okay. There's Becky. Uh, Becky, was it you that asked me like last week or the week before about the Ziploc bags that I put my designer series paper in? I apologize that I forgot to add that link, but in the description of this video, in the non-Stampin' Up! Supplies, I do have that listed, the bags that I use. So, I think other than that, there really hasn't been a whole lot going on. Um, this was another year, and it's really weird. It's very strange. My only guess is that these stores now do their Black Friday sales, a lot earlier. It's not just Black Friday that they do them on, because this is the second year in a row that on a Friday, it was more like an afternoon Friday, um, had gone up to Costco, and there was like less people than there would be like any of the other days that I have been there, because that store is usually wall to wall people. But it was interesting, there wasn't like outrageous long lines. The store wasn't overly packed, and it's like very interesting. I mean, it's nice, because I don't like being around huge crowds of people, especially when it comes to the parking lot, because yeah, some people don't know how to drive, and I don't want to get ugly, the day after, you know, I was giving thanks because people can't drive and they gotta be fools. Just saying. But other than that, yeah, I was also working on the projects. And, again, it's like, I don't know about you, but time is just, it's going by so fast. I mean, I think I need more than 24 hours in a day, because, what happens, and I was telling Yvonne this, that, and I don't know if this is the same with any of you, but I find that I can come up with the ideas, and as far as creating goes, I'm more productive when it's daytime. And when it's nighttime, for some reason, it's like that time where you're kind of shutting down a little bit, and so you're kind of tired, and you don't really get as far as you would like to. um, Besides doing, these projects here, even my Thursday video, yeah, that got recorded actually like around midnight on Thursday, rather than maybe the night before and posting it at 5 a.m. So, yeah, a little bit behind on that. Sometimes these ideas come to me, and then sometimes, it just takes a little bit. But I got that done. At least it was still Thursday. And then the other thing that's going on too is that I will mention this next Friday. So my plan is for next Friday, it's going to be pre-recorded. It's going to be a kind of live. The reason why is next Friday at my church. Every year we do this. It's the first Friday of December. We have a women's Christmas dinner. And so I will be at that. It's at the same time, 7 p.m. So what am I using? I have no clue yet, because that's another thing I have to do. I have to determine what it is that I am going to be doing for December. So, if anybody has any suggestions, I'm trying to use as much of the products out of the current holiday mini catalog, since I pretty much have that, and anything that I haven't done yet. That's my plan. I'm trying to use as much of that stuff as I can before the catalog retires. Um, so yeah, so next Friday it's going to be a pre-recorded live. It'll be posted for 7 p.m. Anything else? As far as like any announcements go, um, yeah. So has anybody taken advantage of the that Black Friday sale? Because I'm just gonna be honest, really, really honest here, that I don't even know where the paper went to. Yeah, I don't even have the flyer. I don't know where it is. Um, when they said select things, they weren't kidding. I mean, there were a couple of things that were really great deals. So, like our paper trimmer and replacement cutting blades, those were like 40% off. Um, both the trimmer and those blades are now like unavailable. They are sold out. uh what is it, the Stampin' Blends, they're 40% off. They're still pretty much, that's what's really left. um there's a few colors that are unavailable, they're sold out. um Let me see here. uh Close that. Where is it? Yeah, so it was like 40% off on the trimmer, the Stampin' Blends, and the blades. And then what is this doing? Um, I can't even get on the page. Is like everything? Hold on a second. I don't have the full menu up. Um, okay. Black Friday, shop now. Yeah, so the blends are 40% off. Like I said, some of them are sold out. So the regular price for them is $11. Right now they're on sale for $6.60. And if you are a demonstrator, your discount applies to that 660, so it's a little bit less than that. They had, I think, what was it, 15% off select cardstock. Oh, yeah, here we go. 40% off was the Stampin' Blends, the paper trimmer, and the blades, and the ink bundles. Ink bundles were nothing but the ink refills of, the whole package for the whole color collection. Yeah, all four of those, they're gone. Paper trimmer and blades is gone. Like I said, Stampin' Blends, there's still some available, but there's some that have also are sold out at the moment. Their select adhesive, it was the liquid glue, that sold out. Then when it came to the regular dimensionals, the mini dimensionals and the black ones, the mini and the black have sold out. Um, what was it? The cardstock, basically all the card, it said, what was that? That was 15% off select cardstock. And all that was the 8.5 by 11 basic white, thick, very vanilla, and basic black. That was the only four colors. There were no others. Um, the Stamp and Seal Plus and its refill, that's not available. Same with the regular Stamp and Seal and its refill, not available. Um, the regular Stampin' Dimensionals are still available. They're not even showing that they're low on inventory on that. So for the most part, you got Stampin' Dimensionals and you got Stampin' Blend. So there's a good, looks like a good amount of colors of Stampin' Blends that are still available. But yeah, Granny Apple Green is one of them that I know that kind of sold out. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna say that I think for a Black Friday sale, I would have thought there would have been a little bit more to it. I mean, when you say ink bundles, they should have been a little more specific what they meant by ink bundles. It wasn't, what do you call it, like any of the ink pads. It was just the refills. Um, maybe like tools would have been a cool thing to have on there, but yeah, so we still got that sale still goes on until the 1st of December. So there's what, another 2 more days before that's done. Another thing that I will mention now, all of you that are on here while I'm live, none of you are my customers. You don't order from me, so this really won't apply towards you. But anybody who comes by and watches, if you order from me, first off, know that I am just totally grateful and thankful that you have done so. But there's two things that I just want to make you aware of. And I think really, this is something that I really do want to bring up to the attention of Stampin' Up. So when we had our Stampin' Rewards program for so many years, when your order or a combined order reached $150, you got 10%. And of course, if it was a higher amount, the percentage went up. You got those Stampin' Rewards that you can use towards that order you were placing. And then a few months ago, they changed the whole program where now, starting at $20, you earn 10% in Stampin' Rewards that you can use in a future order. The only problem with the way it is right now is that when you create a profile, or if you already have a profile out there, um, two things that you really have to do. One of them, you have to opt in for the Stampin' Rewards, because I've had a couple of people place an order from me, and they were not small orders. And unfortunately, because they were not opted in for the Stampin' Rewards, they lost out on some, rewards that they can use towards, a future order. So you definitely want to opt in for that. So, I mean, you deserve them, you earned them. And unfortunately, once the order's been placed, you can't go back and then redeem them. And I don't think Stampin' Up, even if you call them, I don't think that they do. I don't think they can give them to you after the order has already been placed. So just a reminder, I mean, and this can go if you order from somebody else, if you create the profile, just be sure opt in for the Stampin' Rewards, because you want those rewards. The other opting in item that's on the profile is for customer contact. Now, I will speak for myself. I cannot speak for other demonstrators out there. I can understand why, a customer would not want the customer contact, because, you don't want to be bombarded with emails like every single day. Um, you just don't, you want to place your order when you want to place an order. You don't want to be pushed into anything. Me, first off, I have a monthly newsletter. There's times I may send it out more than once in a month, but the only reason why I would is because Stampin' Up came out with a promotion that I did not know about when I first sent out my newsletter at the beginning of the month. So in the description, I do have a link if you would like to get my newsletter. It has a list of my whole video schedule for that month, anything that I may be doing, what Stampin' Up is doing, a preview of like new kits that have come out in the online store, because every month there's either 2 or 3 new kits that come out. Things like that is what's in my newsletter. And if you sign up for my newsletter, then my newsletter goes out to you. As far as the Stampin' Up website goes, I do not do a newsletter through that. So I would not be sending really any communication out to you in that aspect. Now, if you place an order with me, I will go and send you a thank you card because, again, I do appreciate that you chose me as your demonstrator to order from. But the thing is, when you don't opt in on the customer contact, then I'm not able to have Stampin' Up send a new catalog directly to you. When in that format, the cost on sending out catalogs is a lot less than me actually having to put one in a bit large envelope and putting postage on it and mailing out. Now, I don't have a problem doing that, but if I can have most of it done where Stampin' Up mails it directly to you, it's a lot cheaper. Now, the thing is, if you're not opted in for that customer contact, then I'm not able to choose you when I go to have the catalog sent out. So actually it's tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day in which demonstrators can submit their catalog mailing order. We only get one chance of it, in a month, because this is for the catalog that's going to go from January to April. I do have a copy of it. Demonstrators are actually able to pre-order out of that catalog. So if you would like me to send you a catalog when a new catalog comes out, if you can click on that customer contact, I would truly appreciate it because I'd like to be able to, send a catalog out to you. Now, after Sunday, if you still want a catalog, please reach out to me. My email's in the description, and just, provide like your full name and mailing address, and let me know which catalog you would like, because right now we have the annual catalog. We currently still have the September through December catalog going, and now the January through April one. Stampin' Up's actually going to start mailing those out in December. Now, I can order like 8 packs of that catalog, so I can mail them out. But if I can have not too many that I have to mail out, because again, with the cost of postage, yeah, and not only that, also you have to be in the US if you want one from me. And if you're not working with another demonstrator, because if you're ordering from another demonstrator, then it should be them that are actually sending you the catalogs. Okay. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Again, that whole opting into the Stampin' Rewards, that's really important because, you spent the money, on product. Those are rewards that you earned. And I would like to see that you're able to use them in a future order. Again, that's something I'm going to bring up the Stampin' Up. I mean, I can get that, keeping the opting in for the customer contact, but for the rewards, there's people that don't realize it. Maybe you ordered Stampin' Up a few years ago, and we didn't have this new Stampin' Reward program. So make sure that you're opted in. And again, if you want a catalog mailed to you, please opt in for the customer contact, and know that if you're doing this with me, I don't send any communications out through the Stampin' Up website. And again, the only thing I really do is the newsletter. And the newsletter, you basically click and you sign up for that. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Um, Let me see. I'm just looking at the comments. Yeah, the whole thing about the Black Friday sale. Um, let's see. Let me go ahead and let me flip this because I got a couple other things to show you. Not much, but yeah, let me just flip this and kind of get it in place. We don't want this too low because we don't want this thing focusing in and out. And I also want to make sure that I'm straight here. Oh my goodness. Want to be straight. I think I need to pull this out too. Nope, that's pulled out. Okay, I think we are good. Okay, so the advent calendar, I don't see that these are on low inventory or sold out. Yep, the advent calendars, these are still available. When you look at the packaging, it looks Christmas, but I will tell you that all of the items that are actually in the kit, none of it is Christmas. Um, the price of it here in the US is $99. And you get like a double stamp set, and then there's a variety of product that's in the calendar. You have dies, you have stickers, you got designer series paper, you got some embellishments. So I have opened them, and the items in it are really, really cute. Something else that's coming up, and this is going to start in December. So Stampin' Up! Is no longer going to have celebration, and we usually have that at the beginning of the year. So they kind of did away with that program, but what they're doing is a product of the month. So the way this is going to work, as you place items in your shopping cart, um, starting at $75 or more, and this is before the shipping and the tax is added, and also when you use Stampin' Rewards, that's going to bring the amount down. So if you're $75 or more, you have the opportunity to purchase the product of the month. So again, the cart total needs to be at least 75, before the discounts and rewards and all of that. Once you reach that qualifying amount, you'll be able to add that product to your cart. So the cost of that product is going to be $5. So if you place multiple orders in a particular month, you can only get one of the products from that month. Say if in this in well, let's go with January. So say in January you place an order, it's over $75. If you didn't get the product that was for December and it's still available, you can get December's. If you place another order that's over $75 in January, then you have the opportunity to get the product that's for January. And again, as long as the product is still available. So they say that when it comes to these products, these are never going to be items that are going to be in the online store, nor are they going to be in any catalog. These are items that are only going to be available while supplies last. So once they sell out, they're going to be gone for good. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, you can only purchase, the item once in that given month. And then this is what they're going to be doing every month, again, starting next month. So I don't have, or we don't have no sneak peeks as to what that product is going to be. I think pretty much when the first of the month comes out, then we're going to know by basically going out there to the online store. Then we have our Cyber Monday. This is for the prepaid subscriptions of Paper Pumpkin. Again, Paper Pumpkin is only available here in the US and also in Canada. I believe it's three, is it three? No, 3, 6, 9, and 12. I think there's four different choices that you have on it, so they are discounted. You still earn your stamp and rewards. The one thing to remember is that the cost of the shipping is included in the price of the prepaids, just like it is with the monthly subscription. So on these, your stamp and rewards is going to be based on the product itself, not on the shipping. So the stamp and rewards are going to be a little bit less than they would be any of the other times. These are available. Well, prepaid is available all the time. This particular sale is going to start December 1st. It's going to go through December 9th. December 10th happens to be the last day for the December kit, which I have. Where is it? It's right here. So it's the watercolor in bloom kit. Now, usually with the prepaids, once you purchase them, you can start your subscription whenever you want. However, during this sale, the December one, you have to opt in for the December one. You can't skip the December one. Um, but then after that, I think you can pause it, and then you can start it back up to receive that next month. So that the sale goes on until the 9th. Let's see. The Brush with Beauty class, they did have this back on November 20th. I did purchase this class now. I have not done anything with it yet because I basically purchased it the same day that they were having the class. So I started watching what they were doing. In this class, I believe they got like a three-dimensional project. So like kind of like a gift box that you can fit note cards in. There are like two cards, and then there's also a scrapbook page that's in this class. So even though the class has already happened, you can still purchase it. You'll get access to the private Facebook group, and the video will be out there, so you can go back and you can view it at a later time. That's Paper Pumpkin. We're really not going to go into that. We talked about the whole Black Friday sale. Then there's the coordinating add-on dies that go to the October, November, and December Paper Pumpkin kits. These, I believe, are still available. Really quick. 167,855. Yeah, these are still available. $12 here in the US, and they're not on low inventory at all. And that's kind of like old stuff. So we don't need to talk about that. And again, I will have the PDF so if you're new here, what I do on the projects that I do every Friday, I do create a PDF. So it'll have the list of supplies, it will have pictures of the projects, it'll have dimensions. If they're stamping, I let you know what color ink, and if something's embossed, I let you know it needs to be embossed and what embossing folder. So that I still need to create that, and I'm looking to have that done tonight and have that uploaded to my Google Drive. I do have a link in the description. It's that last little paragraph just above the list of supplies. If you click on that link, that will take you to the Google Drive, and I have PDFs out there going back to January 26th of 2024. So there are I want to say that there's close to 95 PDFs out there. So they're all listed under the name. And what's nice is that in the PDF, there it where it has the date. If you click on that, it's going to take you right back to the video that I did using that product. Um, so with that, let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you what it is that we're using. This is considered a big mega suite of product. It's called Traditions of Christmas. We have the really awesome Traditions of Christmas Specialty Designer Series paper. This has Cherry Cobbler, Old Olive, Pool Party, Real Red, Secret Sea, and also some gold foil. Now, these bags, these Ziploc bags, like I mentioned earlier, I think it was Becky that asked about them. There's Froggy. You are fine. We have not started creating yet. I just went over, some of the housekeeping stuff. So you didn't miss anything, hon. Oh, and by the way, speaking of which, look what I got in the mail. This was yesterday when I got it in the mail. Yeah. I picked up the card from the post office. So thank you so much, Froggy. It did get here. And I mean, you just sent this out because you made mention that you sent it out. Where's the date on it? 11/14. So, hey, the post office did its job. It got here in a timely manner, and it came, and it's not destroyed, so that's important. But thank you so much, Froggy. And it was funny. I will tell you, Froggy, that um, Andrea, she had called me the other day, and she said, "I got this card from a Karen Gilmore." It's like, who is that? She's in Canada. I said, look at the list. I said, that's Froggy. And she's like, oh, okay. But yeah, she did get your birthday card. So she says thank you. Um, so I did want to make mention of that. And I haven't seen Deborah. But Deborah, if you watch later on, according to the post office and my informed delivery, your card showed up today. So next time I get to the post office, hopefully it is in my mailbox. So, anyway, so the designer series paper is very pretty. I have used the the designer series paper on every card. Tonight we don't have 3 cards, but we have 4 cards. I figured I owed you guys a bonus project for really confusing you on changing times and then changing the day. And so yes, we have 4 cards that we're going to make, and also 4 cards that I'm going to give away. So again, if you would like to be part of the card drawing at the end, you do have to be present when I go to do it. Um, Pinned up at the top of the chat box, there is a link you can click on. It'll take you to a Google spreadsheet. Just add your name there, and then at the end, we'll do a wheel of names, and you can, if your name is chosen, you can choose one of the cards that are left. Okay, so we have the designer series paper. This is a mega suite. That means that it has more than one stamp and die or stamp and punch bundle in it. So we have traditional labels. So you have all of your greetings, and some of your greetings you can see already are um, kind of like angled. That goes to this particular die here that cuts it out at that angle. You also have some other label dies in here that have some different types of stitching to it. So a really fun grouping of labels. And then there is Christmas greenery. There's no greetings in this one. You just have these images here. The dies will cut these out. Also, these dies will also cut out images in the designer series paper as well. So with the stamp set, you can stamp your outline, and then you have all these different images that you can use to stamp in your outline image. You got some greenery that you can add onto that, and some little berries, and then little centers for your flowers as well. And then the dies do have some additional dies. You got your this larger leaf, you got some holly leaves, you got some pine, and a three-dimensional bow that you can make. So a great set of stamps and dies to this. Then there's also this awesome traditional wreath 3D embossing folder. It is a large embossing folder. It will cover more than your card front. So I have used this on two of the cards that I have made for you tonight. So this is part of the suite. And then for embellishments, these are the traditional sparkling sequins. You have two different sizes, so you have a real red. Um, I'm going to say old olive because that's what's in the paper. I'm going to say that's pool party, and then you also have gold. So you have larger ones, there are smaller ones. I have this packaged in these are passport holders. I do have a link for these. I got these off of Amazon. They are in the description of the video. And then the other thing that's part of this suite, this is the real red shiny ribbon. So one side is shiny, and then the other side of it is kind of like more of a dull red on that side. So you can definitely tell what's the front and what's the back on that. And that is everything that's part of this suite. So one of the things that I will mention that, well, I got them right here, and I'll just kind of get out of the way so I don't have to pull them in. We used this last week when we did our peaceful garden suite. This is the peaceful garden glimmer paper. So we have like a misty moonlight, secret sea, and cloud cover colors in this. I'm going to be using a little bit of the secret sea color, and then we got the gold foil as well. So these aren't part of this suite, but these are additional papers that I am using for these projects. All right, so let me kind of move this stuff out of the way. The other thing too that I have done, I usually don't do a whole lot of heat embossing on the cards, but what is it? I three of these cards that I'm doing, I actually did. Now I will say that I did bring in a couple of other sets to use along with this, branching out. I did use one of the greetings in here, and then I also used a couple of the dies that are in here as well. And then for Jolly Delivery, I did use one of the greetings that are in here for one of the projects. So those are additional. As a matter of fact, I have not done anything. I haven't done a Friday video yet on either one of these. These are probably going to be at some point in December. Like I said, I still have to plan on what it is that I'm going to be doing for next month. And I got to figure out what I'm doing for my monthly Christmas card inspiration, which that will be hopefully posted on Monday the 1st. All right, so our first card. So for my card base, I have Real Red, measures 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have a piece of basic white that measures, did I turn that right? Yeah. That measures 5.25 by 4. This is going to be for the inside of our card. I have a piece of that Traditions of Christmas Specialty Designer Series paper. So this one, the whole sheet are the red flowers with the gold foiling. This measures 5.25 by 4. And Vellum paper has returned. They come in 12 by 12 sheets now. This piece measures 5 by 3 3/4. And then ahead of time, out of a scrap piece of basic white, I had stamped this image using Secret Sea ink. And then there are stamps in the set that you can fill in all of the flowers and the greenery. So we're gonna stamp all of our images on that. And then out of another piece of basic white, I had used the, what is it, the traditional labels. I used this smaller die right here, and we're going to stamp our greeting on it. What's nice is that both of these sets, they are, what do you call it? They are photopolymer, so it makes it a lot easier to see where you're stamping. I can talk, I promise you that. Sometimes words are hard and you forget what you're saying. That happens quite a bit. I know I'm not alone. This happens to other people too. So I'm pulling out all of these little filler stamps. And then for my greeting, the greeting is going to come out of the, let's see, the branching out stamp set. Now, again, the greetings that are in the, I got everything over here, the traditional labels. These greetings, they're a fairly decent sized greeting. So with the amount of space I had left on my card front, I had to go with something that was going to fit. So this is going to fit. So that's why on these I brought in other stamp sets as well. All right, so let me get my blocks here, and I need to pull out my greeting. And I'm using From Our Family to Yours on this one. And let's see, let's get some blocks. We got... And then, let's see, let's get a larger one for this one. Okay, so then the color of ink that I am going to use for these, let's see, we're going to use Pool Party and Old Olive and Secret Sea and Real Red, oh, and Bubble Bath as well. All right, so let me get a scrap piece of paper. Okay. And then I'm also going to bring in, since this is a photopolymer stamp set, I am going to bring in thank goodness, Froggy. I've just read Froggy's comment about that there's no lockout or strikes forthcoming for Canada Post, so that's good. Okay, so I have my Stampin' Pierce mat here. Okay, so let's take our stamped image, and all of these pieces, they all fit in here. So I'm going to start off with, let's see, what do I want to start off with? I'm going to take this particular flower here, and I'm going to use Pool Party. And hopefully my Pool Party isn't too overly inked up. This was like the last card that I put together. Oh, that's not too bad. So I had pressed the ink into the ink pad because it was just a little bit too inky. So what's nice about these line right up. So you see exactly where you're putting it. And even with all these leaves, they're facing all these different directions. That leaf stamp is going to fit in every one of them. So we got this one. That one. Okay, we got that. Now we want bubble bath for our other flower. Okay, it's still good. All right, let me see which way does this go. Is it this way? Or is it this way? Yeah, to save time, I did die cut this after I stamped the outline image. Okay, that does not go that way. Okay, so we just have 2 of those. All right, and then we need our old olive. And let's do our evergreen. And these are pretty easy to line up. Don't stick your finger in the ink. All right, so we have all of that. Now for these leaves, let me see what this looks like stamped off. It's a little too light. Yeah, so all these leaves, this will line up for all of them. We got another one right there. Okay, so we have all our leaves. And now for the center flower for our poinsettia, however it's pronounced. I'm going to use real red. Now on this, before I stamp it down, there is a certain way this has to go because this is going to go around. Let's see, where does it go? Does it go this way? I think it's this way. Yeah, it goes that way. Okay. And there we go, lined up perfectly. Okay, so there is our stamped image. So you have the option with that die, you can die cut and you can stamp the image itself, or you can use the die and you can die cut the image out of the designer series paper. So there's a couple of different variations of the coloring on these flowers in the paper, and of course there's the gold foil as well. So yeah, either way, You can stamp or you can just die cut. All right, so for my greeting, let me kind of clean this off. And it's shopping? No, not really. Not really. Let's see. What do I need? I mean, I don't know if I can say like the Black blah 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 the Black Friday sale that what is it, Tailored Expressions had. I had to get calendars to make calendars, so yeah, there was a discount on those. But as far as any big shopping for Black Friday, I did not have the funds to do it. So all right, my greeting. Secret Sea ink. So it looks like everybody got your card about the same time, Froggy. It's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to center this right here. Okay, and then that's all of the stamping for this card. Now for the inside, I don't have anything stamped on the insides of the cards. So you can put like whatever greeting that you want in there. Let me grab this. Oh yeah, there was that Black Friday sale with Stampin' Up. I was able to get another trimmer. I could not get any extra blades because they were already sold out. There were a couple of colors of blends that I did get, not too many. I did get some more dimensionals, and then when they were still available, I did get a couple of the Stamp and Seal refills. So it wasn't a big order. It was small. All right. That aside. All right, so let's bring in our card. We'll fold and burnish our card base. And let's get our bone folder. And let's see, where is my seal? Put this in here. Okay. And then we are going to take, let's see. What am I going to do on this one? Okay, so on my vellum, I'm going to take a little bit of seal, and I'm going to come right here in the middle. I'm going to add a little bit. And then I'm going to take the red, this real red shiny ribbon, and I'm going to do a zigzag with this. And it's going to go behind. Let's see, we want it this way. Okay, we kind of want it like that. Unfortunately, with this, I can't really twist it to where I just have that shiny side. Hold on. Stay put. So I'm going to put this right here, stick that down in the adhesive. Let's make sure that we have this where we want it. Okay, that looks good. So then let me go and trim this. And we'll come up at an angle. Okay, and then I'm going to take my image here, and we're going to pop this up over top of that ribbon. Now, I'm going to put my designer series paper on my card base, and then this will lay over on top of it. But what I want to do is I want to put this on here first, so then when I go to put adhesive on the back of this, you won't see the adhesive showing on, yeah, you won't see it shine through. Okay. So let's add some. Yeah, and and the thing too is, yeah, the black, white, and very vanilla cardstock, all of that. I mean, when I went on there, and I think it was the same day of the sale, they were like already gone. Already gone. Yeah, as far as like if they had the colors on sale, I definitely would have stocked up on some colors that I'm a little low on. But yeah, like I said, I in my opinion, I think the sale it could have been better. All right, so I'm going to add this at an angle. So now I can see exactly where I can put adhesive on the back of that. So I'm going to add adhesive to the back of my designer series paper. And I will add that to my card base. Like so. And then we'll take this and see again, you can see exactly where your image is going to be, so you can add your adhesive to those areas so it doesn't show through. Okay. The only thing is when you don't have adhesive all over the whole entire thing, what happens, the corners kind of start to curl up a little bit. I'll show you that on the sample. So this is smaller than the designer series paper, so it kind of tones down the busyness of that paper behind the stamped image, but you're still able to see it, both covered and uncovered. And then I'm going to take my greeting and 2 dimensionals, and we're going to place that right over here. And then that is going to go right there. So when I work on the project, so with the embellishments, these glittered sequins, what I like to do is I like to try and use like each of the colors instead of always using like the same color. So on this one, I did change it up a little bit. Originally, I thought I was going to do a little bit more blue on it, and you can see the only blue that there really is between the Secret Sea and that pool party. So with that, I ended up using what I believe are pool party dots on here. So I'm going to use those, and these come in 3 different sizes. And what's nice about these is that they're flat, so they're going to mail very, very well. And you won't have to add that extra postage because of the embellishments. Now, if you add layers upon layers upon layers, where your card's going to get really heavy, then yeah, you're going to have to pay some extra postage on that. So there we go. There is the first card. And then you got your inside. You can stamp whatever greeting that you want inside of there. Okay. And here's the sample. Like I said, because there's no adhesive at the top here, you can see that the vellum starts to kind of curl just a little bit, but it's not too bad though. So there is our first card. Now for our second card. Okay. We got some blue for you, Terry. Got some blue for this one. Um, yeah. Yeah, with what you were going through with your postal, yeah, I would have sent things out a lot earlier too. I would have found a way to get them. Well, actually, you know what? I was telling Terry this earlier that not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before the video I did with the snowman. One of those cards was something that I had made a few years, well, quite a few years ago. And I was trying to look for it to know exactly what the measurement of one of the pieces were. And so I started digging through these boxes, and I have a lot. I mean, I got a few boxes and a tote full of cards, and I started pulling things out of these boxes, and I'll tell you, I came across a lot of Christmas cards. I pulled them all out, kind of put them in another box. I have enough Christmas cards to last me probably for the next 3 or 4 years, in addition to the sample cards that I have that are Christmas as well. So, I mean, if I don't actually sit down and create Christmas cards, separate from doing a video, I would say that I'm pretty well set for as far as cards go. All right, so for this card, my card base is Secret C. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. For my inside basic white, 5.25 by 4. I have a piece of cherry cobbler. This measures 5.25 by 4. And then this piece of designers of traditions of Christmas specialty designer series paper is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And then out of a scrap of Pool Party, I used the traditional labels set of dies, if I can get to it. This is the larger die right here. So with this die, when you die cut, you not only have this stitching, but your edge pieces here are actually separated from it. So if you wanted to run like a piece of ribbon through it, you could. So Pool Party, and then I die cut another one, this one too. You kind of got it cut. If you wanted to remove the stitching, you can easily snip that off if you wanted. So this particular die right here, die cut the gold foil. And then I also had stamped with my Versamark ink and used and heat set with the gold embossing powder. I stamped my greeting first. Now when you stamp it on a scrap piece, make sure you leave plenty of room off to the left, so then that way you have room to put your ribbon die on there. So I embossed it first, and then I had die cut it. So the gold embossing powder on a scrap of Secret C. Okay, so let's fold and burnish this. We don't have any stamping on this. I already took care of that ahead of time. And then I'm going to put my inside in here. Terry's warning everybody inside, not outside. I almost messed up. We don't want to mess up. Okay. Then I'm going to take my designer series paper and I'm going to adhere that to my cherry cobbler. Now this card is, it's a case from Erica Serwin. I did change it up a little bit. She had included cloud cover as far as her ribbon and her larger label. I I basically stuck with the colors that are in the paper. Um, but she had taken this layer and she actually had it popped up on her card base, and then all these other layers here were also popped up as well. To me personally, I thought that's a little too much popped up, especially when these are going to get mailed. So nope, we don't want to put that on there yet because we want to add some ribbon to this. So I'm going to cut a piece that's going to be long enough to just kind of wrap it around, tape it to the back, and then I'll cut another piece. And instead of fighting with it to tie a bow, I'm going to tie a knot. All right, so let me get my tape and let me look at where I want to place this. So I'm going to kind of lay this here and see if this is where I want to put it. Okay, so that looks good. So let's line that up. We'll tape our one side. And then get another piece. So how is, let's see. I figure that Becky, maybe Tracy, you guys are getting snow. Here we got rain, and they're talking about like Monday there could be like some wintry mix, and then they're talking about even early Tuesday morning, and I don't want to hear that because I'm not going to look forward driving through rain and sleet at like 6 o'clock in the morning to drive all the way down to South Haven. I'm not looking forward to that. But around here, weather changes constantly. Okay, so we have that. Then I'm going to cut another piece. And we are going to tie a knot. So I'm going to go with the shiny part up, facing up. And then when I go to tie this, I'm going to have the shiny part showing over here on this side. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of twist it. So then that way I see the shiny on this side. When I tie the knot, you're really not going to see that dull side. So we're going to tie it like so, kind of pull it a little bit so that way it kind of lays straight. Now what's nice about this is I can take this and I can slide this all the way over towards the very end here. Okay, so I'm going to leave that, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to adhere this to my card base. Add a little extra adhesive to this. And it went too far. All right, and then we'll center this. I think Secret Sea and Cherry Cobbler are two colors that work very, very well together. Okay, so let's kind of take this, slide it over, press this down. Okay, and then I am going to take this piece right here, and I think I did I pop that up? Yes, I did pop that up. Okay. Snow up in Canada. None yet, but west of me they are. Yeah, yeah. West of you, I know, like Illinois, Indiana, they are. Iowa. Okay, so I'm going to take this gold foil one and I'm going to center that on here. Let me just make sure that I got this laying straight and not all wonky. And then we'll place that down like so. And then for our season's greetings, we're going to add a few on the back of this. Okay, so I'm going to add one here. And kind of go here. I'm trying to not have this extend out past my gold foil label. That's straight. That's straight. Okay, and then we'll center this on here like so. Okay, and then we're going to pop this up over the top of this. So let me, again, kind of manipulate this thing and have my bottom tail kind of be straight rather than sticking out. And more dimensionals. I'm really surprised that that these dimensionals aren't sold out already. And then just one more in the middle. Make sure that this stays put. All right, and then I'm going to take this and we're going to place this, let's see, right about here. Stick that down. Okay, fix our ribbon. And then let's trim our ends. Let's see inside. Okay, and then for this one, I'm going to use my old olive glittered sequins. Add that one down there. And then we'll add two more up here like so. Okay, so there is our second card. So basically pulling in all the colors that are in this designer series paper. I will tell you that this paper is just absolutely beautiful. I can see why it ended up selling out and it was on back order for a while, but it is now back in stock and I did not see that it was on low inventory or anything. So pretty paper. All right, now the third card. Where's the rest? Okay, so this is going to be for you pink lovers. Speaking of the one sitting in the other room, this one found on Pinterest. This is kind of like a case off of a card. I'm not even going to try attempting to pronounce her name because I don't, and I don't even remember her name. I know she's Indian and she's part of the artisan, the Stampin' Up! Artisan design team. She had a little bit more going with this card, but I kind of did my own version of it. So again, some things that I did in advance. So if you love the pink, This one's all about the pink. All right, so for my pieces here, for my card base, it's Bubble Bath 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. I have another piece of Bubble Bath. This measures 5.25 by 4, and ahead of time, I had embossed it using this Traditional Wreath 3D embossing folder. So when I use this, I had embossed it more over to the right hand side, so there's only a little bit of these leaves on the left hand side, because most of this side right here is going to be covered up. So I wanted you to be able to see more of this. And this is really pretty. I mean, this embossing folder, you could just take like a square piece of white cardstock. You can emboss this and then put it on another layer, and you can put this in a frame. I mean, it's really, really pretty. You can add a ribbon to it if you wanted, you know, using actual ribbon, or in the dies that go to the Christmas greenery. There is a die in here, like 3 pieces, where you can make a bow. So you can make a really pretty home decor type um, project using that embossing folder. All right, so let's see. Just looking at comments. That's true, Sharon. Glue dots do work when you want those bows and the tails to go where you want them to go. All right, so then I have a piece of that. This is Traditions of Christmas specialty paper. So this print, you have a lot. You have actually the bubble bath poinsettias, and then you have your little red and white flowers in it. So this is very pretty pattern. So this piece measures what is this, 5.25 by 2. Then I have another piece of the designer series paper, which is actually the backside of this pattern. This measures what is this, 4.25 by 1/2. And then out of a scrap piece of the designer series paper, I had die cut. This is actually the same pattern. So I die cut 2 of these pine boughs. And then I also die cut 1 in the gold foil. I did the larger leaf that is in that set of dies. This is in garden green. And then there is a little small label that is in the traditional labels dies. This is the same pattern of paper. So on the side that's got the red with the lighter red polka dots on it, I stamped the Merry Christmas and Happy Wishes. It's one of the greetings that was small enough to fit in this. So this comes from the Jolly delivery stamp set. So the Merry Christmas, and it has a lot of nice smaller greetings in here. Again, I haven't planned on when I'm doing that yet. It's gonna probably, most likely it's gonna be sometime in December. I just haven't made that decision yet as to what exactly I'm using. And Miss Deborah's here. And yes, Deborah, you're, according to my informed delivery, your card showed up yesterday. I just have to go and get it from the post office. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. So we're going to kind of make a little bit of a mess here. So I'm going to kind of do this like off camera. I'm probably still going to be in the camera a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to I'm going to distress the edges of this piece. So I'm going to bring in my scissors, and I'm just going to scrape all of the edges on this and being careful that I do not end up scraping my fingers because, yeah, we don't need blood on our cards. That's not the look we're going for. Even though I'm going to be splattering some real red ink on this piece, we rather would have that be a marker and not real blood. We don't want that. Years ago, Stampin' Up! Had, you know, these little tools that were on a little chain that, one was like a perforator. You had one that had the little blade that you can do this with. They should come out with that again. I did see that there was one on Amazon that was a Tim Holtz one. Those things are a little more safer than doing this. Okay, so that looks good. And of course, it leaves like all these little paper fibers flying all over the place. That's why I'm trying not to do it under the camera. So we're going to set that aside. I'm going to take the larger piece of the designer series paper. I'm going to do the same thing on this. I don't have to go as rough on this because this paper is thinner. Okay, I did get that. Let's get down here. Okay, so this piece, don't stab yourself with the scissors. Wait, hold on. Put the little covering back on it. All right, so there is our designer series paper roughed up a little bit. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put this card together. Oh, well, actually, no, we're going to make a little bit of a mess here. So let me move this out of the way. Kind of move all my other pieces out of the way because I don't want to splatter ink where I don't want it to go. Okay, so I have some old grid paper here. And I'll put those pieces underneath so they don't get ink on them. Yeah, Ohio got snow. Wow, almost 15 Thursday and Friday. Okay, I'm sure the game is probably over. Who here can tell me if Ohio State won? They were playing Michigan. And it's important that Ohio State beats Michigan. That was the one thing when I lived up there in Cleveland. It wasn't so much the Cleveland Browns. I like my Ohio State Buckeyes. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my bone folder. And I have my dark real red Stampin' Blend. Yes! Thank you, Tracy. Woo! Love my Buckeyes. Little happy dance that Michigan lost. I'm going to just use my bone folder. I'm going to smack my the brush tip end of my Stampin' Blend to kind of get my splatters on here. Now when she did hers, she had some major splatters on hers. She may not have even used real red. She could have used, what do you call it, cherry cobbler, but she didn't state which she had used. So again, you know, like the other markers, if you flip it with the cap, these brush tips do damage very, very quickly. So I definitely don't want to do that. All right, now that I have that, I'm going to get these out of the way. And then I can bring the rest of my stuff back up here. And we'll bring this stuff in. And bring in my list of supplies. All right, so now we are going to take our roughed up embossed piece. I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of this. Okay, and then the side that has the smaller amount of that embossing on it, I want that on the left side, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to take this piece here, and I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive. So this side here, this is going to go like this. So what I want to do on the back side of this piece, I want to add some seal right on this edge, because this piece is going to stick to the back of that. I do want some of that exposed. So we'll add some right to the end there. And then I'm going to bring in my piece and kind of have it centered a little bit. Okay, so that's stuck down. And then I'm going to add adhesive to this. Okay. I'll add a little bit to this to hold that down. Oh, what are you doing? Stop sticking to my finger. Yeah, this is very sticky. All right, and then we're going to line this up to the edge of that embossed layer. Okay, tuck that in just a little bit, press that all down. Okay, then we're going to take our die cut pieces. I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet here. Actually, what I think I may do, well, oh, I could do it with this way. I'm going to take my gold leaf. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to this just to kind of hold it down. Okay, and then we're going to place this like right over here in the middle. Let's stick that down. And then our red and gold piece. We'll angle this more over to the side here. And we'll do the same thing with this one. And any adhesive that you kind of see poking through, like on the edges or whatever, you can just rub your finger on that and it'll just hide behind the other piece of the paper. All right, so we're going to place this like over here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to bring in my scrap paper and this garden green leaf here. We're going to add some shadow to it. So I am going to bring in my garden green ink. And I have a small blending brush. The pine came from, it's part of the Christmas greenery. So you got this large pine, and it's not small. It's pretty big. Yeah, it's a pretty big pine. And then even this leaf, and even the holly leaves, they're a nice size as well. The holly leaves, we're actually going to use that in our final project. All right, so I have my blending brush, get some ink, and I'm going to go around, I like these edges. Okay, and then go around the edges of this side. Now, the other thing that she had done on her card that I didn't do, she basically had laid down all of her layers of her paper and the leaves and all that. And then after she did that, she then splattered it with the red ink. The other thing she did, what I kind of saw in the picture of the card, she had the card base. She actually had another layer of the bubble bath, and then she put the embossed piece over the top of that. But she did not emboss hers. What she did was she took one of the floral images from the stamp set, and she had stamped that on this layer of the bubble bath using pretty and pink ink. So again, I'm casing her project. And again, I wish I knew how to pronounce her name, or if I remembered her name. I just know that it's an Indian name, and she's one of the Stampin' Up! Artisan designers. So, yeah, and then when she did her greeting, she used this one, the same paper. However, she didn't use this die to cut it out. All right, so now I'm going to take my leaf and I'm going to add, let's see, we'll get a little bit of adhesive. Add some to the back of this. I kind of want my stuff to stay stuck down. And again, you can see there's some adhesive that shows in between those leaves. I'm just going to rub my finger over that, kind of pulling it onto the back of the cardstock. Of course, it's very sticky and it's really sticking to my hand, so I got to be careful when I go to take this off that I don't tear it. Okay. So we'll move this. We will bring this in. And then I will put this more over to this side, like so. Okay, and then another thing that I'm going to bring in, now this is from another suite. This was part of the online exclusives. This is the black and white and gold baker's twine. So this baker's twine, what's nice about it, this is the first time I've used it. It's not like our other twine. This is like a little bit more stiffer, so I feel that it's a little more easier to work with. It doesn't twist up as much when I go to tie my bow, and you got that nice white with that strand of gold in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a double stranded bow with this. And this is another suite too that will be in December. So I still have there's still a lot of product from that catalog and from the online exclusives. The question is, there's a lot more product than there is actual like Fridays left. So I thought about doing like you say, like do a bonus video, like on Saturdays, but then I start to think about that and it's like, you are already stretched really thin now. So yeah, I shouldn't be adding more stuff on to me, and stress myself out. We don't want to do that. Oh, let me see. Find the die set. It's the Christmas greenery die set. Yeah. Yeah, it's part of the bundle, but you can still get either the stamp set or the set of dies separately. You don't necessarily have to get it as a bundle. Okay, so now with that, I have like this bigger knot now with this. So I'm gonna put this down. Where's my glue dots? But what I'm gonna have to do, this little greeting piece here is gonna go over it. So on my sample card, I had one layer of dimensionals on it. It wasn't enough. I added a second layer and it still doesn't look like it's enough. So on this, I'm going to have to probably triple it. So then that way it's going to, it'll lay flat because it was kind of bunched up. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to stick this down right here. Okay, and then we're going to have to triple this because like I said, that knot has a lot of lift to it. So let me get my dimensionals. You got to take the paper off first. We'll just stack these. So the last card that I'm doing is actually the first card that I made. And then the other three I did today. Again, it is like, with stuff going on and, I was up early feeling tired and all that. I just couldn't get, and for some reason, like I said, during the daytime, it's like the ideas and everything and being more productive happens when it's daytime. For some reason, when it hits the evening hours, it's like, you're just kind of like ready to be done. Okay, so with three, it does lay a whole lot better than, say, this one, where you can see it's kind of, you can see that it doesn't lay flat. And this is with two dimensionals stacked up. So we got that. Now one more thing to do, and that's to add our glittered sequins. And so for this one, I'm going to use the real red ones. Let's see, where are those? Okay, and I take your pick tool and our red. One up there, and then one more right over here. Okay, so there is our third card. So it's got a lot to it, but it all works out. I really like this one. I like all of that distressing that's on this. Very, very sparkly, very pretty. Love, love, love. As if I would say, love, love, love. Give it 7 seconds and she'll be laughing. Wait for it. As long as she didn't fall asleep. I think she fell asleep. I don't hear her laughing. She's not commenting either. I think she fell asleep. So we got one more card, Froggy. See, you really did. The only thing you kind of missed was just like the housekeeping announcement type stuff. I hadn't even started the cards yet, so it was all timed perfectly. Yeah, she is a little quiet. She didn't laugh. I think she fell asleep. I think she fell asleep. All right, the final card, which was actually the first card that I ended up putting together yesterday. Okay, so for this one, my card base is Pool Party, measuring 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. Yeah, she's asleep. I don't hear her. I don't. She's not laughing or anything. She fell asleep. She's she's sleeping too. She's sleeping too much. All right. Where was I? Okay, so then I kind of did the same thing as the last card I did. So I have a piece of Pool Party that again measures 5.25 by 4. This time when I use the embossing folder, I have the center of that wreath more centered on this layer, because when I put these other layers on, you're going to be able to see that embossing all around it. Then I had used let me see, where is it? In here? No, right here. Then I had used the branching out set of dies. So you have this little like berry type sprig right here. You got a whole strip. You got like your little pine branch and a little tiny pine cone. That's really cute. But then you have these nesting layered dies that are stitched. So nice size. So what I did was this, I think it was, let's see, which one is it? It is the fourth one in. Fourth one in? No, third one. It's the third one in. So the third largest. I die cut one in real red. And then with the Traditions of Christmas Designer Series paper, then the next one in, so that was at the fourth one. Yeah, the fourth one, largest one. I die cut, but I wanted the print of the secrets of foil, so that's going to be our layer there. Then I also die cut another one of those pines in real red, the holly leaves. They are different, so there's 2 different dies. I cut 3 of them out of old olive. Then out of that, what is it? What is this? The Peaceful Garden Glimmer paper. So I die cut one of those berry sprigs using the Secret Sea color. And then out of the designer series paper, again, we have a die that will actually die cut this out of the designer series paper. So there's a couple of varieties of the colors of the flowers and the ribbon that's in the paper. I decided to go with with the red flowers on this one. And then ahead of time, I don't even have the width of this. So piece of real red, it's a half an inch wide. And I mean, this is just a longer piece. So this is cut at 5 inches, but I'm going to end up trimming it down. I embossed the greeting. This is part of the traditional labels stamp set. Stamped that in Versamark, and then I heat embossed it using the gold embossing powder. And I'm going to be trimming this down, and I am going to be using, this is the 3 banner punch. This came out with the November online exclusive. So there is a stamp set that goes with this that has greetings. So these labels are a half an inch wide because this strip fit in there perfectly. So what I want to do is I want to flag the ends of this strip. Now you can do this with a pair of scissors, but why do it with a pair of scissors when you can use a punch? So to punch this out, I'm not going to stick it in like this because you can see it'll end up, the greeting part is too long. So I'm going to take this end and I'm going to kind of tuck this under like so. If it's going to go, come on, get in there. Yeah, slide right in there. And I'm going to pull it to where I want to punch it. So I want to be close to the end there. So I'm just going to punch that out. And then I'm going to come in from the other side. Come on, get in there. And when I don't want to work that way, let's come in from this side and we'll pull it through. Okay. And then we'll punch that end. So there we go. So we got our flagged ends of our greeting strip. And again, it's a scrap piece that was a half of an inch wide. And again, that was stamped with Versamark ink and then heat embossed with gold embossing powder. Okay, and then I think that is everything. What I am going to use with this, I'm going to use a different ribbon. This is the gold striped mesh ribbon. I believe that this ribbon is still on back order. Not 100% sure. Hold on a second here. Let me kind of move this stuff out of the way. And let me see here. See what it says. All right, ordering, inventory status. So the ribbon that I'm going to be using, that will be back the week of February 9th. Some of so like the Blackberry Bliss, Granny Apple Green, Old Olive, the deep Old Olive, Granny Apple Green, and Blackberry Bliss. The medium deep combo, those are all not going to be back in stock until April 20th. The Berry Burst, they're saying February 9th. The deep combo pack is March 16th. As far as the reinkers go, the reinker bundles, they just have to be decided, so there's not a definitive date on that. December 15th for the basic black, the basic white thick 8.5 by 11. The basic white and very vanilla, December 15th as well. The glue, December 8th. The mini dimensionals, January 12th, along with the Stamp and Seal Plus Um, the paper trimmer February 23rd, and the replacement cutting blades February 16th. So some of these items that were on the Black Friday sale, yeah, it seems like it's gonna be a bit before we get them in stock. And actually, I noticed this too. The 3 banner punch, this is on there, and they're saying that this is gonna be back in stock the week of January 26th. So yeah, there's some things out here that are on back order. Yeah, and the Stampin' Blends Light Combo Pack, that's actually on low inventory along with Azure Afternoon and Shy Shamrock. Yeah. So it's going to be a while before some of these things are back in stock. All right, let me close that out. And what embossing? Oh, the embossing powder is the Wow embossing powder that Stampin' Up is selling. You get it, you don't, they're not individual, they're actually in packs of 3. So you have your basics, which is your black, white, and clear. And then you have your metallics, which are your gold, your silver, and your copper. Yeah, some are, yeah, it's a very long time. It's almost like they weren't prepared for this sale and they didn't order a lot beforehand. I mean, it takes a little bit for this stuff to get here from overseas. All right, so let's fold this. Let's burnish it. And if you haven't already done so, please add your name to the spreadsheet if you would like to be part of tonight's card drawing. So instead of 3 projects, we are doing 4. All right, so I'm going to take this and center this. Okay, and then I'm going to attach my designer series paper label to the real red one. Okay, center that. Okay, and then we're going to take this and we're going to pop this up onto our card base. Okay, and we will get some of that red glitter from the sequins. And then we will center that. This, too, is a case from, who is it? Is her name Sue Henderson? She's, is she another? I don't think she's an artisan designer. I don't think. But she is one of the designers that's on the All-Star tutorial, the monthly All-Star tutorial. I do subscribe to that, so I know that she's on there. So she did 2 variations of this card. So when it came to the flower image, she did the other one that has the pool party flowers on it. I chose this one. Also, the embellishments that she used are also different than what I'm using. I'm sticking with the embellishments that are with the suite, and I think she used the, is it the what are they called? Is it like holographic foil or something? It's something along those lines. It's in the annual catalog. Okay, so I am going to tie kind of like a large loop bow. It's too long. Bring it in a little bit. And this is going to sit like right here. We don't need it too long, so that'll be fine. Let's trim this down. We'll do the same over here. Okay. Get that out of the way. And then I'm going to bring in my seal. I'm going to add some to the middle here. And we will place this down like so. Actually, I probably had to glue down the other pieces first. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to trim this down a little bit. So this is going to go kind of like in this corner here. So I am going to snip this like so. And I'll bring in my craft sheet here, my silicone craft sheet, add some of my seal to that. And I will add that kind of like over into this corner here. Okay, and then let's see, I'm going to take one of my leaves here. And we'll stick this like right here. Now I'm not going to press it down hard in the event that I want to move it around. Okay, and then we'll add some on here. We'll kind of put that right there. And then we'll place this one like right that right there. Again, I'm probably going to have to shift some things around. And then I'll add a little bit to my blueberries here. Okay, and then this is going to layer over the top. So I'm going to pull these up a little bit so I could see more of these. Okay, so that looks good. Actually, everything looks really good. I'm actually going to put that leaf underneath my bow. Okay, and then dimensionals. I'll add one up above and below that knot. Okay. And I think I want one down here. And then we'll do another one up near the top. It does work. All right, and then we're going to place this right over the top of all of this. Okay, and then our 'tis the season, and this is crooked. You don't want it crooked. Come on. Not crooked. Okay. And then our Tis the Season, this is going to lay right over the top of our greenery piece. So I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive there. And then I want to add a dimensional, like right about here. And then another one, like right about here. Come on, one off. I don't know how well that's going to hold it on that ribbon. We can probably put it right. Come on, stick down. Right there. So then this will sit right on top. Whoops, bring it up a little bit. That'll sit right on top like so. Okay, and then let's add some of our glittered sequins, and then this one we can call done. All right, so this one I'm going to use the gold ones. Add one up there, and then one more. We'll add this one right here on our leaf. Okie dokie, guys, there is our fourth and final card. So the red, the real red, or any type of red, really, well, maybe not so much cherry cobbler, but like poppy parade, goes very well with pool party. So there is our final card. So let me bring in, she did fall asleep. She did fall asleep. She fell asleep. She's probably sitting in my chair out there. She has her feet up and she's probably under her blankie and she fell asleep. Okay, so here was our first card. So a lot of red. That's why I kind of broke it up a little bit using the vellum that we now have. So the vellum is available in 12 by 12 sheets. The vellum is actually part of the Brushed with Beauty suite. That was a November online exclusive release. So with this stamped image, now again, the die cuts out the stamped image. You have your little individual stamps that you can stamp in your flowers and your greenery. And then that same die will also die cut this image as well. That's in the designer series paper. Then our next card, another simple layout. Again, the designer series paper just really does a lot for the card, and just add like a greeting and then a couple of those label dies. Again, the pool party goes very well. It's one of the colors they do have in the designer series paper. I kind of try to stick with the colors that are in the designer series paper, especially if I'm using it. Um, the third card, so this one very distressed looking. I did the edges, have this embossed. I splattered some of the real red ink on there, and then just layered up some of the greenery pieces that were die cut out of the designer series paper, and then some cardstock and gold foil. So I like how that one came out. And then our final one, again, we die cut an image out of the designer series paper, did some other die cutting, and just pieced it all together, and just very pretty. This ribbon definitely is very pretty ribbon. I hope that ribbon kind of sticks around for a while. So there are the four cards. So if you like the projects, please give the video a thumbs up. And If you, well, all of you guys, I know that you're good, but if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. It does help me in not only growing the channel, but it also helps me in building my Stampin' Up! Business. Let me move that down a little bit. What else? If you would like to receive, I'm going to tidy up here a little bit. So it gives you some time if you want to add your name to that spreadsheet. And then we'll do the drawing, and then I will give you the rest of your Saturday evening. And it's nice that kind of started earlier, so we're a little over 2 hours, but I guess that's not too bad considering, we did 4 cards. Um, yeah, so let me kind of move all, I'm going to move all this stuff out of the way, so then that way I can bring my laptop in. And also, I do have the link below for my newsletter if you would like to receive that. Again, I typically only send like one a month unless Stampin' Up! Has some kind of promotion that comes out after the fact. That link is down there. If you would like a copy of the new January to April mini catalog, um, right now we have the catalog mailing program opened up until tomorrow for demonstrators to have Stampin' Up! Send the catalog directly to you. Um, if you if you are not working with another demonstrator and you're here in the US and you would like a copy sent, you can create a profile out there on the Stampin' Up! Website. Choose me as your demo and be sure to opt in. Again, there's 2 opt-ins when you create a profile. One is if for when you place an order, you get Stampin' Rewards. If you are not opted into that, you will not get your Stampin' Rewards. And when, they start at $20 and it's 10% of the product total, you do want those Stampin' Rewards because you can use those towards a future order. And then there's also another opt-in, and that is for customer contact. That needs to be checked, so then that way I can have Stampin' Up! Send the new catalog directly to you. Otherwise, you can send me an email with your full name and mailing address, and let me know which catalogs you would like. Right now we have our current annual catalog and our September through December mini catalog. And then there is, like I said, there's going to be that January to April catalog that has a lot of cool stuff in it. I have gotten my copy of it, so there's a lot of cool things in there. Terry, Yvonne and myself we're gonna take care of a catalog getting to you. And again, if you're not working with another demonstrator, because if you're placing orders with another demonstrator, then you should be requesting the catalog from them. And of course, you do have to be in the US to get a catalog from me or any product through me at so with that, let's see. We see Terry's already claimed number 2, so this one right here. Let's see. All right, so let's see who we have here. I didn't pause this, right? Just making sure I just didn't pause my video. No, I didn't. Okay. All right, so on this spreadsheet, I have Terry, Sharon, Froggy, Becky, and Debbie. Is there anybody else? I think that's pretty much who is here. And Miss Sleepyhead in the other room. Yeah, she fell asleep because she's not saying anything. Like I said, I think she's sitting in my chair that has the ottoman, and she's probably like laying there, sitting there with her nice, comfy, cozy blankie, and I think she'll say, "Oh, I just have my eyes closed," but come on, she fell asleep. Okay, Tracy. Oh, Tracy. Okay, I got you. I got you, girlfriend. We got you added. All right. Is there anybody else? Yeah, I got Tracy on there. She's on there now. Okay, so I think that's it. So let me go ahead and take all these names, add them to the wheel. All right. And then I am going to just slide these up out of the way. And let me grab my little thing of little post-it notes with all your names on it. And grab my pen. And then let's move these lights out of the way so they don't glare on the screen. And let me bring this in. We got the cards right there. You can still see the cards, hopefully, a little bit at least. One of these days, we'll have the software where we'll get this all working. So let me straighten this out. Everything is like so crooked. All right. We got everybody. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's get this going so then we can finish this live stream. And again, you guys can get the rest of your Saturday evening. And look at that, Tracy. You're the first one. Okay, where is it? Right there. Bring in my mouse so I can navigate here. So which card would you like, Tracy? Number 4. Okay. You got it. All right. So then our next card. Sharon. Number 3. Okay, I know you're in here. There you are. Okay, so we got card number 1 and card number 2. Oh, okay. I don't even have to ask. Don't even have to ask. I already know she was already claiming it. She's already claiming it. Congratulations, Terry. Okay, so card number 1, our final card. Yeah, did she doze off? Okay, so our final card Froggy. Here, we don't need a pen. All right. So Froggy's got card number 1, Terry's got 2, Sharon's got 3, and Tracy has number 4. So let me kind of get this out of the way and we'll kind of wrap this all up. So yes, you got your number 2. So thank you everyone for accommodating the change. I was really trying to, have an early Friday night live, but when you got the holiday and you don't have your projects already done in advance where it should have been, yeah, time kind of gets away from you. And I didn't want to come on here racing and rushing, because you know what happens when you race and rush to create. You start making mistakes and things aren't straight and you get frustrated. And I don't want to come on here frustrated. I think I came on here that previous Friday because of so much going on. And yeah, I don't want to come on here like that, because this is supposed to be a fun time. So yeah, and I apologize for any of the confusion when I posted when I scheduled a live. I had 5 a.m. on it, not 5 a.m. Oh dear Lord, not 5 a.m., 5 p.m. And then I changed it, and then I ultimately end up changing the day. So I apologize for the convenience. So again, everything that is for the month of December, I have not decided on what I'm using yet. But I got to decide on that very soon, because my newsletter will be going out, I think, on Tuesday. And then, of course, on Monday, there's my monthly Christmas card inspiration that has to get added on there. So again, I don't know what I'm using yet. So that's going to be something that I plan this weekend, of course, on what I'm going to do. So again, if you would like to receive the monthly newsletter that has the whole video schedule, the link for that is in the description. There's also, what is it? The Black Friday sale, the link for that is in there. There's still the last chance products. And again, if you would like a catalog, if you want one from me and it's before tomorrow, create the profile out there on Stampin' Up, choosing me as your demo. And then please, please, please opt in for contact for that. And also, if you want to order anything, be sure to opt in for the Stampin' Rewards as well, because they won't automatically be added when you place your order. So with that, everybody, wherever you are, if it's cold, if it's snowy, please be safe. If it's raining, stay dry. Of course, here it's kind of rainy and cool. Don't know if we're going to have any frozen or wintry precipitation. That it won't amount to much, but they're expecting that like between Monday and Tuesday. And so, what was that? Wait, what did Froggy say? You can mail the Christmas card I get as your Christmas card to me for the year if you like. Oh. Yeah, I have plenty, plenty, plenty of cards. End up pulling out a whole bunch. I got enough cards to last me probably for like 3 years. So, okay, so then that's it. Again, if you like the video, please give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit the notification bell that lets you know whenever I may post, like about anything, or when a pre-recorded video is posted, or when I go live. And I will see you guys. Oh, as a reminder, next Friday, December 5th, I'm going to have a kinda live for you. So it's going to be pre-recorded. Next Friday is our women's Christmas dinner at our church. And so I will be at that. So yeah, so next Friday it will be pre-recorded again. I have no clue what I'm doing yet, but it'll be a surprise. So other than that, I should be here for the rest of the Fridays for the rest of the year. And of course, there'll be Throwback Thursdays, and there'll be, yeah, monthly Christmas card inspiration. Yeah, all a whole bunch of stuff. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for taking some time out in your Saturday evening to join me. And everyone, have a blessed one, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.